Thank you. Hi, James and Adam here. In today's video, then, we're going to be showing you how inflation erodes you and your family's savings away and what you can do about it. So then, Adam, first things first, what is inflation, mate?
Put very simply, inflation is your paper money, this stuff here, got the Queen on this side, losing value. Governments and countries printing paper money because they can print as much as they want. And when they do that, it loses value. So you can see on the screen, you got the US dollar there. It doesn't matter whether it's the US dollar, the British pound, the euro, they're all paper currencies. And it's lost, what, 95% of its value. This is what happens. You can actually go onto the Bank of England website and you can look at different time frames and see on here, we've looked at £10 in 1960 and what you would need in 2019 to have the same purchasing power. Here, nice and simple, £232 is the number. That's what you would need in 2019 to have the same purchasing power as £10 in 1960. And looking around the world, you can see, look, Australia, UK, the Eurozone, United States, 5.5%, 4, 1.9%. Inflation's fairly high. And with the current situation with governments printing even more money, personally, I think this is only set to go up. They're going to have to devalue the currency even more. It kind of happens in front of our eyes without us knowing. In really extreme cases, you can look back through history and even stuff that's going on now in some countries, you have hyperinflation. And this is where the printing press, governments are printing money so fast and the inflation is so high that each day your money will be losing value. So you can see in Zimbabwe, there was 100 trillion note, which was worth around 40 cents in US dollars. So 100 trillion, it's such a huge number. Count all them zeros, but it's still only worth about 40 cents in US dollars. Also in Venezuela, you can see a massive pile of cash next to a chicken. And
Wow.
that is 14.6 million in local currency just to buy a chicken. So you literally need a wheelbarrow just to carry that cash around with you. And that would be worth $2.22. This is where inflation gets out of control. And there's different levels of it in different countries. But as you can see, it's paper money, put simply, losing value.
That's mad. It really is. So how does that affect the average family then?
Well, let's look at the screen at these shopping trolleys, and you can see literally on your weekly or fortnightly big shop that we all go and do, you can see how it's affected you. So you've got the first trolley there in 1998, $20, £20. Again, it doesn't really matter what the currency is. You can see it's bought you a nice big trolley full of shopping. Thumbs up, all good. In 2005, the same $20 is buying you about half as much. So that paper money has lost its value. This is inflation at work. The numbers don't change. The $20 is still $20, but what it can buy you has reduced. And by 2014, $20 is buying you hardly anything. So over time, the longer time goes on, the more your paper money loses value and buys you less. Another way of looking at it is imagine you're saving paper money. You're putting paper money in a bank.
Yeah.
Well, in this example, let's look at £10,000. Dollars, pounds, euros, it's all the same. £10,000 in a bank account. Let's imagine you're getting 1% interest.
Okay.
And at the end of the first year, you would have made £100. That's 1% on the 10,000. You'd be taxed on that because the government want part of the upside as well. So you'd be left with a cash figure of £10,080, putting nothing in, taking nothing extra out. If you take inflation, the effect of inflation on that 10,080, and let's look at inflation at 3%, just a nice kind of average round figure. It's higher than that in some countries, lower in others, 3%, nice and average. Then that 10,080 is actually worth 9,777.60. It basically means that over a year, you've lost £222.40 just for leaving your paper money in the bank. Now, to be really, really clear, the figure that you would see is 10,080. That hasn't changed. And this is why inflation's so powerful in a negative sense, because if you saw the numbers rolling back throughout the year, then I'm sure we'd all be asking questions saying, you know, what's going on? Who's taking my money? But because those numbers stay the same, but the value decreases, this is why people don't always know about it, don't always see it, and don't always think to do something about it. It's almost hidden in plain sight. It's right in front of your eyes. But look, doing nothing about it, sitting on the fence, as you always say, James, you get a sore bottom by sitting on the fence. And this is how inflation is affecting people's savings.
I think it's because people, it's not in there, it's under the radar, isn't it? It's not in their face.
Yeah. It's almost like a secret tax.
They don't feel the effects. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So what, you know, people listening to this now, we're thinking, right, we get that, we understand that. So you know, what can we do about that then? So what can we do about that, Adam? What can an average family do about that today?
Yes.
If they do decide to get off that fence.
Yeah, good question. Well, look, we've been on this journey ourselves, and we heard all this information and decided to take some action. And it can be a little bit scary at first, and you think, you know, what do I do, and how do I go about it? Well, first of all, look at moving that paper money that you're saving, you know, in a bank account, and put it into something that is beating inflation, that's not going down with inflation. And the thing that we look at is precious metals, gold and silver. As you can see from the screen, you've got that consistent straight line, which is the value of gold. And then you've got all the other colored lines, which are different paper currencies. And unanimously, they've either gone to zero and disappeared, or they've lost 90, 95%, 98% of their value. So looking at this, you can swap your paper money, which is going down, into something like gold that is maintaining its value. When you look at the numbers like this, it's quite easy to see which one you would rather have. This is all about the long term. So you can see the performance of gold. Look, on the day, it's going to go up and down. We're never going to sit here and tell you that gold goes up, always goes up, will never go down. It doesn't, it fluctuates. But compared to paper money over the long term, it goes up. So you can see 1 year, 5 year, 20 years, gold's had a great performance and much, much better than paper money. And the last slide, which I think paints the whole picture and tells the whole story, is looking at an even bigger time frame. You can see in 1910, an average family car of the day, nice there, looks about as aerodynamic as a brick, it's worth £654. That's what it would cost you to buy. If you put that £654 under your pillow and pull it out in 2020, it's not going to buy you an average family car of the day. It's not maintained its purchasing power. It's been eroded, eaten away by inflation. If you go back to 1910 and stick the 1,300 grams of gold under your pillow, pull it out in 2020, well, it's worth £61,500, and it can buy you a pretty nice family car, still maintaining its value. So whichever way you look at this, whether you think, look, the paper's going down or the gold's going up, you are better swapping paper for gold.
It says it all, Adam, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sure you'll agree that saving in, to summarize it all really, saving in the bank is losing. Saving in paper currency, in paper money, in paper currency, in a bank is losing. It's as simple as that.
That's it.
Yeah, and something we've always said, isn't it? If you do the same as what everyone else does, the masses seem to suffer the most because they don't know this. They're not taught this, are they?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Right then. Thanks a lot for that, Adam. Hopefully that explains everything for everyone. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to be a winner if you'd like to be a winner and knock inflation over the head and have your savings protected and have them grow over time, then get in contact. Say hello, and we'll point you in the right direction.